Trippy quests are where the magic's at. It's a chance for game designers to create, play, and use a bunch of those wild, genre-bending ideas and create one heck of a quest. And we're not talking about those games where substance abuse and mind-altering stuff are part of the role-playing narrative. Nuh-uh. We're talking pure, trippy, kinda silly escapism. Without further ado, let's take a look at the 7 best trippy quests in gaming. First up, let's start with Cyberpunk 2077, The Monk. So get this, you're not even gonna see the quest marked on the map, and somehow it's still one of the more delightful, memorable chunks of the game. And that's even after the fact that it doesn't have a fireworks wow payoff at the end. Alright, so basically, V comes across a monk who offers him a pretty trippy, meditative brain dance, and when you wake up, he's gone. So you gotta scour the map and find the weird monk again. With that said, here's the weird part. When gamers first played this quest, a bunch of them thought their consoles were frozen for some reason. Like, the cutscenes you see don't even allow you to skip it, but it'll still give you a real moment of calm and quiet reflection before you get back up and go into the electric murder house, which is Cyberpunk 2077. Up next, we got Grand Theft Auto 5 Alien Invasion. Alright, so in between rampaging around Los Santos in your sweet car or a dirt bike or a helicopter, pretty much whatever you choose, it's still important to take some downtime and rampage through your own psyche. So we got Michael, who's one of the surly protagonists of the game, and he comes across a pretty dubious guy who, for some reason, just wants to take a moment and talk about marijuana legalization. And he even does that friendly, neighborly thing where he rolls a joint for you. And of course, he'll claim it's fine and pretty good stuff. And how does he know that? Because he grows them himself, or at least that's what he tells you. Having said that, you gotta be careful, because one toke and suddenly the world's your very own candy planet with the most beautiful pastel colors you've ever seen, right until it gets invaded. Alright, so classic Area 51 looking aliens are gonna jump out of nowhere, and you gotta defend yourself with a pretty unwieldy blaster. So the moral of the story? Just don't accept a joint from a guy in a suit. Like, just no, don't do it. Now let's also talk about Grand Theft Auto 5 Peyote. Okay, so absolutely no doubt in the world, or maybe just a little, this was the most successful RPG of all time. The developers at Rockstar just know that people absolutely love to freak their minds. And we're talking about these side quest collectibles that do it better than literally anyone. Like in story mode, players can actually find the locations of the peyote plants scattered throughout the map. And here's the catch. If they eat the peyote, they're going to transform into some animal. With that said, the hallucinations are going to stick with you until you choose to exit or die in the game. So it basically gives the hardened killers of GTA 5 a rare chance to spend some time free as a bird, flying around and pooping on pedestrians, or maybe a majestic dolphin who loves to explore the world underwater. Like, you definitely got a bunch of cool possibilities to check out. Moving on, like the name suggests, Yoshi's Island, Touch Fuzzy, Get Dizzy. If we're being honest with you, Get Dizzy pretty much sounds like a way parents would try to explain to their 6-year-old why Uncle Kevin passed out at dinner last night after blasting through, let's just say, some funky stuff. Having said that, here it's a pretty fun side quest in the ever-favorite game Yoshi's Island. Now, this level on the classic platformer got Red Yoshi just carting around with Baby Mario, who's absolutely adorable. And while they're at it, they gotta avoid the little white puffballs called fuzzies. And if you somehow hit one, the screen's gonna go all wibbly, and the map's gonna start rippling too. With that said, this isn't even the best part. The detail that's personally our favorite is the extremely dazed look that Yoshi's eyes are gonna take on. And now, let's move on to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Fly Agaric. If you've been a huge fan of the other historically accurate Assassin's Creed games, you're gonna appreciate Valhalla's absolutely amazing world building that's pretty much inspired by real-world events. With that said, scholars are gonna agree that ancient Vikings were a big fan of psychedelic mushrooms, and sometimes they even got some before a battle to bring on a berserker rage. In fact, there's also a theory that instead of the fly agaric mushrooms, they were a bit too interested in a flowering plant called henbane. Anyway, whether agaric mushrooms or henbane, anytime Ivor had to take some mushrooms to complete a puzzle or commune with the spirit world, the game would just move up to an entirely new dimension. Kinda trippy, right? We told you. Try it out for yourself and see. Next up, time for Red Dead Redemption 2, A Quiet Time. Okay, so even Arthur Morgan, and we're talking about the hardest and toughest man in the West, even he needs to take a night off every now and then. So not too long after the gang comes to Valentine, Arthur's got his eyes set on one of the crew's young members. That's right, that's Lenny. And Arthur takes him out for a quiet drink, and obviously, they're absolutely plastered in the local saloon. So here's what you gotta do. Weave an increasingly and pretty unstable Arthur up and down the steps of the bar, which is pretty much a bar, brothel, and barber all in one. Yeah, pretty convenient. Anyway, you gotta take Arthur and find Lenny again and again and again. And once you're done with the quest, you're gonna be so blitzed at whatever bathtub moonshine they got back in there that you're gonna be pretty much weirdly swimming in a sea of Lennys, just about getting ready for the the worst hangover of your life. Yeah, pretty weird, but hey, that's all fun and no pain when you're playing some video games. And finally, our personal favorite, Skyrim Mind of Madness. Alright, so we saved the best for last. One of the longest, trippy quests we got here is definitely this one, and it's our absolute favorite for all the right reasons. Skyrim is definitely such an enduring classic. Like, we're talking about deep world building, some of the most memorable characters, and some pretty cool in-game consequences that are going to resonate throughout the rest of your playthrough. This game is going to get you invested from start to end, so you definitely got to be careful about that. Anyway, the quest is pretty easy to miss for Dragonborn, who's only going to walk a straight and narrow path, and the one who actually gives you the quest is a raggedy-looking man. But you might want to hear him out, because you might just get something. And that something is access to the twisted mind of the ancient emperor who ruled years ago in the realm of the Daedric Prince of Madness. That's Sheogorath. With that said, in this trippy quest, you're going to help heal a freaking mind. And we don't have to tell you that it's pretty cool if you're a therapist or whatever. But in all honesty, we're really here for the wabbajack stuff that's going to get you a reward. And if you don't know what that is, well, it's a pretty powerful weapon that's going to inflict a random effect on your enemies or allies whenever you decide to use it on them. So we're talking boom, explosions, some peaceful healing, a bit of transfiguration. Like, you'll never really know what's going to happen right up until after you already attacked. Pretty cool, right? A few side or main quests are going to be much more memorable than the one where the main character, who's usually pretty serious and sober, is going to absolutely go trippy throughout the sequence. And that's not just when they've had something mind-altering and they're going crazy all over the place. We're talking about some side quests that actually contribute to the actual plot and storyline. Like, these quests aren't just absolutely fun to play, but also sometimes offer a different side of the usual character. And not all of the quests are going to involve some weird nose candy, or the prettiest sky diamond you've ever seen, or anything out of the ordinary that you're thinking about. It's all just an extended sequence where the developers bend the rules a bit with some mind-altering quests that are guaranteed to get you excited. Honestly, quests like these just elevate the game as a whole, and we just simply can't get enough. While we've listed our top 7 picks for the trippiest quests we've seen, we can't wait for game developers to use some of their creative magic and give us something trippier than this. That's a wrap for this video. Which one of these 7 trippy quests was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.